Pretty good. So what I really want to do in this one is really just answer a lot of questions. I know I'm working on some tutorials for the apps. I know I'm a little behind on that. Just bear with me on that. I should have them up here very soon. But what I want to do with this is kind of what the daily session is about, is really helping people that need that extra guidance get to where they are feeling comfortable with investing in stock, securities, mutual funds, crypto, whatever it might be, right? So I want to help everybody try to get to that point to where they're feeling comfortable. So I do want to answer some questions, but also I want to pull up SLV. But we can also go over anything that anybody has questions on. I know it was a rough week for cryptocurrency, but that's okay. It just means that everything's on sale. So for all you people that are waiting to buy, probably now's a good time. My cat and my dog are going at it. Come on, stop. Just letting everybody join in here. So let's begin. Like, just, yeah, feel free to unmute. And if you have a question, if people kind of start going over each other, just go ahead and raise the hand. It's fine. But feel free to ask questions and let me know what you guys are thinking. Go ahead, Jessica.
John.
Oh, hold on, Jessica, real quick, John.
Yeah, I had a couple questions actually on the wallet.
Sure.
Can coins be staked if they're being stored on the wallet?
Good question. It depends on the wallet.
So the one that you talk a lot about, the Nano.
The Nano Ledger X. I do believe, well, actually, no. So if it's in a cold storage, it cannot be staked. And the idea behind that is, think about this, is that if it's in a cold storage, it means it's like sitting in your safe. It's not on the blockchain per se, right? Whereas if it's in a wallet, let's say like your Coinbase wallet or something like that. Like I have, for instance, I have a Coinbase wallet. Literally, it's just wallet. It has like $74 in there. And it's, yeah, there you go. There we go. Somewhere in there. Yeah. Anyways, it's a Coinbase wallet. I hate that. It's a Coinbase wallet. And so in there, I have staked interest in Aave. Aave is, you guys don't need to go sign up for it. Letting people join here. But you have decentralized finance, which we're going to talk about this next Sunday. But you guys should see like $4 trillion or $4 billion liquidity protocol, right? And so it said, oh, we froze up for a second. Oh, there we go. So it says enter app. I go in here, I enter the app. This is Aave. This is aave.com. They actually have their own coin as well. But this is part of like decentralized finance. And so basically what it is I can come in here and there's different deposit rates, borrow rates, right? And so I can get different percentage yields by staking my coin on this platform in different stable coins. Make sense? And it tells me exactly what it is in here, how much they're borrowing currently. My computer's really slow. I was going to try to reboot before this, but sorry, I didn't get a chance to. But you can go in here and you can, find something that you want a good interest rate on, and you can borrow against it up to 75% of your market value. And then you can put it into something else. And so instead of like cashing out your balances, think about like this. Let's say you have some Bitcoin, you have some Ether, you have some Cardano. You can go in here, right, and take out a loan in, let's just say, you can take out a loan in DAI. Okay, you can stake your Ethereum, your Bitcoin, and 75% of it, they'll give you a 75% loan. So let's say you have $1,000 of Bitcoin. You can take $750 out in a loan in DAI, and you can stake it at 11.27%. You could do the same thing. Let's say you have $1,000 of Ether. You could take $750 loan out for DAI and stake it 11.27%. Let's say that you have $1,000 of Cardano. You can take out a $750 loan and stake it 11.27%. Okay. And so what that means is that you're earning interest on this money that you just borrowed, but you haven't cashed out your Bitcoin, your Ether, or your Cardano, and it's still earning value as that coin and token. This is decentralized finance. Basically, you become a bank and you're lending to everybody else. Go ahead, Walt.
So I'm just wondering, how do they know, how does Aave know that you have money in Bitcoin or Ethereum or any of those? I mean, how is it linked?
1 second. Oh, nope, wrong one. There it is. This one. Okay. See up here? Let me disconnect real quick. I click connect your wallet. Ledger, Coinbase, Wallet Connect, which Wallet Connect's basically like a generic connector. And then you have browser wallet. So I click browser wallet. And so that connects with what is called I have a MetaMask wallet. And I've kind of shown this before, but there's a MetaMask wallet right there.
Yeah, I got one of those. I just didn't realize how they were doing that. How
Yep,
they
so
you actually have to show them your wallet.
Yeah, so you just go in here and you just browser connects. It'll connect directly to your wallet. It's the same thing with if we go to like Uniswap. Uniswap is a platform where you can basically exchange cryptocurrencies for another cryptocurrency, right? And so you come up on here in Uniswap, right? And this is basically Ethereum token. So I can change my wallet.
Okay.
So if I go to my Coinbase wallet, it's going to ask me to scan. And I can go into my Coinbase wallet. I can scan that. It's going to ask for permission and I connect. Now, one thing that I was told, and I'll say this to you guys, is anytime that you're swapping coins on Uniswap, anytime that you're making a transaction, okay, your IP address is, so with at least for ERC20 tokens, is you're doing it through Etherscan. So if you go to Etherscan, right, etherscan.io, this is telling you basically every single wallet on the Ethereum blockchain. Is telling you every transaction on the Ethereum blockchain. It's showing you everything that's happening on all ERC20 tokens, everything. It's basically the whole blockchain is you're looking at the whole blockchain right here. But people can go in here and say, oh, look, there's this transaction right here. Transaction hash. I can look at the transaction hash. I can see the wallet address that this was from.
Yeah.
Right? I can see what tokens were transferred. Well, there's some people who have API access to the blockchain that can actually see.
I'm in the middle of something. Ask me a question if you have to ask me. Uh-oh.
Hey, please mute, guys.
Sorry.
You're fine. But also there's some people who can see IP addresses. Now think about it like this, is that let's say, for instance, that, oh, by the way, so think about how this works is if I send a request to your wallet, Walt, your dashboard, your MetaMask is going to pop up and say, do you accept this transaction? Okay. So basically, I can send you cryptocurrency and it's going to say, do you accept this transaction? Right. So people can spoof IP addresses. They can spoof these types of things. And like, this is how hackers work. And so they can basically take money out of your wallet by doing these spoofs. And so one of the things to do is use a VPN so they don't know your IP address. If they don't know your IP address, they can never connect to your computer. They can never do any of this stuff. So that's why if you're doing transactions like on browsers type of stuff with wallets, it's always wise to use a VPN, especially if it's like Uniswap or one of them, Balance, Uniswap, or Aave. Aave, not so much. Aave, it's kind of a different type of protocol. Same thing with like Coinbase and stuff like that. That stuff you have the security built in where you don't have to worry about that level of stuff. But like Uniswap for sure is, and you're muted, Walt. I can't hear you.
Can you refresh our memory on exactly what a VPN is? Is it for masking your IP address or?
Exactly what it is. So it's a virtual private network. And so basically what it does is it takes your IP address and makes it another country or another city's IP address. And so they're pretty cost effective. I think they're like $3 a year for a subscription to one. Not necessarily something you need, but if you're going to take this to like a whole new level and do like decentralized finance and take thousands and thousands of dollars out, borrow against that in a stable coin, stake that stable coin. Remember how we were showing yesterday, Walt, the OUSD coin?
Yeah.
To do that, you have to convert DAI, or you have to convert another stable coin, Tether, whatever it is. So let's say that you had $10,000 of Bitcoin. You can go to Aave, take out a 75% loan, $7,500 worth of DAI. You can take that DAI onto to OUSD, convert it to OUSD, and make 40% your money on it, right?
Yeah.
And that's without exchanging your Bitcoin, getting rid of your Bitcoin. You still have your Bitcoin. So most people, if they wanted to do this transaction, is I would have to take Bitcoin, I would have to exchange it for DAI. I have to pay all the transaction fees, all this stuff. Now I have the DAI. Now I take the DAI and convert it to OUSD. And now I can make the 40% after I just spent maybe $40, $50 transacting all of it. Where with Aave, all I have to do is just take my Bitcoin and put it up there. Someone gives me a loan. They use my Bitcoin as collateral. They give me a $7,500 loan. And also some places, they'll even give you a 10X, a 20X, a 50X loan on your money. So if you have $10,000 worth of Bitcoin, you can take a 50X loan out from that. You can take a $500,000 loan out from that. That $500,000 comes in DAI. Now you take that $500,000 of DAI, you go to OUSD and you stake it for 3 days. And how much money did you just make? A boatload of money.
That you're doing? Are you doing that?
I don't go that far.
Okay.
You need capital. And the reason you need capital is because some of these interests on these loans can be pretty high.
Okay.
My good friend who's a blockchain developer, he owns millions of dollars of Bitcoin. He does this every day. And he makes anywhere from $6,000 a day up to $50,000 to $100,000 a day doing this.
I have a question that's a little bit off. Hopefully I'm not taking a bunch of people's
No,
time.
you're fine.
So are you familiar with CoinGecko?
Yes.
So coin on there that I didn't, some cryptocurrency that wasn't performing, so I decided to sell.
Mm-hmm.
So when I clicked the sell button, idea where that money went. Have you ever dealt with that on there?
Okay, so you click the sell button and what happened?
I don't know where the money went. It just shows that the account or the cryptocurrency that I had, it went to zero. Where that money went.
Okay, so
and there's really no help on that.
Right. So it's, good to understand kind of the platform you're working on, right?
Yeah.
I don't use CoinGecko. I don't know them that well. Now, for instance, like if we go to KuCoin, and this is one thing that you might want to look at, and I'll pull up my KuCoin account. I don't have much money in this KuCoin account right now. I got like $2,800 in my margin balance. But if you look at the top, I have, let it refresh. Sorry. Pretty slow today. But you have a main account, you have a trading account, and you have a margin account. Okay. And so what that means is that the money is held in different wallets depending on what you're trying to do. So at the top, you have asset overview, you have main account, trading account, margin account. So when I put money into this account, it goes to my main account. To trade that money, I have to put it into a trading account. To borrow on margin, I have to put it into a margin account. Does that make sense? Now, I don't use CoinGecko, but I'm wondering if CoinGecko has something very similar.
It might. It looks similar, but I haven't been able to figure it out. I've spent a couple hours messing around with it.
Well, what I would like you to do then is I'll send you my calendar link. Get on my calendar this week and let's look at that transaction, because you should be able to see the history of your transactions.
I did, yeah. I can see the transaction history. It's just so, you know, but I have
Okay.
no idea where it is. And it
All right.
doesn't show up in a portfolio.
Well, we should be able to, if I can see the transaction history, we should be able to find it.
Okay.
Okay. So let's get on my, I'll send you the link for my calendar after this, and get on my calendar. We can look at it through a Zoom in a private session. Okay.
All right. Thanks.
Yep. All right. I know there's a few other people that had questions. Chessa, do you still have a question?
Yeah, back onto the wallets.
Yeah.
Does one wallet support all coins?
No. Great question. No, absolutely not. So certain wallets only accept certain coins. For instance, the Coinbase wallet that you have, if you have a Coinbase account, there's also a Coinbase wallet. That's most likely going to accept every single coin known to man because they have integration. So a wallet must have a level of integration and must be basically have the security encryption for that blockchain type. Okay. So like MetaMask, the one I was showing you up here, the little fox thing, that's primarily Ethereum and Ethereum tokens.
But that's like an online one, right?
Well, it's
cold storage one. Does that accept all coins or no?
They will tell you exactly what they accept. And so the Ledger Nano X accepts Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum. It accepts Stellar, accepts Cardano, those types of things. And it'll show you, it'll tell you in the instructions when you get it, when you open it up, what it accepts. And when you open up any type of wallet and you're about to download it, like the Monarch wallet or whatever, it's going to tell you what cryptocurrencies it accepts. And if it doesn't tell you, just do a search for it.
And one last quick question.
Yeah.
Say, my wallet cracks out. Does
Okay.
that mean I lose my money, or is it backed up even though I've moved it onto my wallet?
As in you're talking about a cold storage wallet?
Yeah, like, if something happens, I don't know, it gets wet,
Yeah. So I
Whatever.
believe with Trezor's one of the other companies, and then there's Ledger. I believe that they give an insurance on them because you can actually visualize all your stuff on a dashboard. And so I believe that they hold it in that they know what you have and they know everything, and it's like backed up. Let me check on that. But here's the thing is wherever you put this thing, make sure it's safe. Especially if you have thousands or hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars on it.
But
Okay.
An EMP goes off overhead. I want to make sure that.
Just put it in this box. The EMP goes off and it's in this little box. Nothing's ever going to happen to it. This is a Faraday cage. And mine sits inside of this is a $10 box on Amazon. And mine sits in my Faraday cage in a box in my safe. I can get everybody a link to that box if they're interested in like one of those boxes. But I mean, you can even buy little safes, like the small little fingerprint safes that are EMP shielded. Ugh. All right. So I hope that answered that question, Chessa. And like with the Nano Ledger X's and stuff like that is, it's not necessarily a risk because we can trust technology pretty well these days, right? So
I work in IT. I know that's not true.
I worked in IT for many years, and we can. And that's what I said. We can trust technology to a certain degree these days. If we take care of the things, and we, here, look, mechanical failures happen, and I'm pretty sure, almost positive, that Ledger has that built into the system, where if there's a mechanical failure, they have a snapshot of that hard drive, and you can back that up somehow. They got to have that in there. So let me look into that more for you. I want to actually look into that myself.
Wouldn't those drives be SSDs instead
Yeah.
of mechanical?
Yes.
Okay. So they're a lot more secure. I've yet to hear of an SSD that failed.
Exactly. And with that being said as well, is there should be a way to take a snapshot of that hard drive, of everything on it, and back that up as well. Multiple levels of redundancy. I mean, if we're talking about millions or hundreds of millions of dollars, I wouldn't want it any other way, right? All right. Who else has a question?
Hey, Josh, this is Mark.
What's up, Mark?
So I am brand new to all of this, and I opened up a Coinbase account the other day, and I really wanted to purchase Cardano, but I couldn't purchase Cardano with Coinbase.
Right.
So I tried to open up a crypto account last night, and it said that I was in I don't know, it just said I couldn't open the account. And I didn't know if that was an anomaly or if it's because I live in the communist nation of California or what. Bottom line is I would just like to have as few accounts as possible.
Yeah.
And I look at you, and you've got like 20 accounts. And that may be a bad assumption on my part. So I've got the Coinbase. I haven't done anything yet. And I'm wondering, is there like 3 go-to accounts that work almost everywhere, or
so
help me out?
Yeah. So I'm actually pulling up something right now, and I'll tell you if it's communist China's or communist California. Well, it's the same thing. China and California is the reason why you're being shut out. Does anybody else in California have a crypto.com account? Or is it censored there? Anybody? Okay. So let me see here.
Hey, Mark, were you on the desktop or on the app? I know desktop.
I was on the desktop, and I was actually running a VPN through Verizon at work. And I'm like, well, maybe that's the issue.
Hey, Josh, so you have to have everything through the app on crypto, isn't it?
Yeah.
Pretty much?
Crypto.com. Try the app. So
Okay.
the desktop version, I can't even log into the desktop version.
Oh,
Try
Okay.
the app.
So to create a crypto.com, you need to create the account on the app itself? Because I can't, okay. All right.
Yeah, try that, because I'm looking right now, and California is not on the restricted list.
so I looked that up too, and I read the same thing, but it's like, well, I still can't get in. What do you think of eToro?
I don't use eToro. I use KuCoin, and I use Gate.io, but eToro should be fine. I don't see any problems with it. I don't know how restricted they are. Like Binance US is good as well, except my account's been pending for almost 3 months and they haven't approved me. Right. But what I do, so this is how I buy coins that I can't buy. So if you notice, when I showed my, when I went in here and I showed my wallet, if I show my, my MetaMask wallet, I have some Ether in there, right? But also I have some Telcoin, and I have DNT, and I have Ample. Now you can buy Ample, I believe, on Coinbase, but you used to not be able to buy Ample anywhere. DNT you can now buy on Coinbase, but before you couldn't. Tel, you can't buy Tel anywhere except for like KuCoin and a few other platforms. But you notice I have 143,000 Tel. Well, how did I get that? What I do is I go here to KuCoin, okay, and I create just a basic account. I do not go, and if you look at my account, it's going to say KYC verification. I do not do that. The moment I do that, they kick me off the platform and tell me that I'm restricted in the United States. I shouldn't be able to trade like this. Do you guys remember like back in the day when they had the online poker stars and so forth? And if you're in the certain states, you couldn't play. So you go out and get a VPN and you just would have to use your friend's address or something. It's kind of the same thing with this. But here's the thing is I can basically create an account on here, sign up, sign in, log in. But then if I wanted to buy crypto and use my credit card, I'm going to get declined. I can't use my credit card to buy crypto here because I don't have the KYC. I'm not approved by them to use my credit card. But guess what? I can go to my main account, okay? I can go to my main account and I can pick a coin. Look at that. Even Aave's in here. I can go in here and let's just say that I have Bitcoin. And so I scroll down to Bitcoin, right? Right there. And it says deposit, withdraw, transfer, lend. So I can click deposit, okay? And it's going to go through this whole process of creating a temporary wallet address. So it says, please note that the deposit address has changed. Please do not deposit to the old address. I say, oh, okay. I click continue, and it gives me a Bitcoin wallet address. Now I can go to my, let's say, my Coinbase account, right? I can open it up and I can go to my Bitcoin that I bought there with my credit card or my approved account, and I can send to this address, right? So I can send Bitcoin from Coinbase to this address, and within 5 minutes, I'll have Bitcoin in my account. So then I have Bitcoin in this account. Now I go to the market, right? And then I transfer it into my trading account, right? So I take the Bitcoin when it comes into my main account, I put it into my trading account, and now I go into the market. When I go into the market, I can look at all the coins they have to offer. So let's see. Let's just see what comes up here. And coins are always going to come up in the sense of being traded against another coin. And you're probably wondering what that 10x means. The 10x means that I can leverage any balance I have for margin, a 10x margin on my money. That's a pretty cool thing to do. But just remember, if the price goes down and you get liquidated, you have to pay all that money. So that can hurt you. But so, yeah, I can go in here and I can kind of look at the markets, right? So let's just do Bitcoin USD. We'll open it up. So let's say I moved let's say I moved $500 of Bitcoin and I transferred it from Coinbase to KuCoin. And so we come in here. And this is where we get into this whole thing that has a lot of stuff going on, right? There's a lot of things going on. I'm looking at Bitcoin's price. I'm looking at what's happening with Bitcoin. But I can also select other coins and add other coins up here. I have ETN coin. I have GRT coin. I have Cardano right there. So think about this. As you were just talking about, how do I buy Cardano? If you can't buy it on crypto.com, which I'm pretty sure if you go through the app, you're going to be able to buy it. But let's just say you can't. So you go to Coinbase, you buy $500 worth of Bitcoin, you transfer that Bitcoin to KuCoin. So now you have like $490 because there's transaction fees that you have to pay for the blockchain to get the money here. And they're going to take some money because you're transferring it to them. Okay. So now you come here. Well, Cardano is traded against Tether, USDT, but also against BTC. And you have Bitcoin. So you don't transfer your money to Tether. You don't transfer your money to a stable coin or US dollars. Because usually when you're buying Bitcoin or Cardano against the US dollar, right? You're always buying it in US dollars, so you're buying it against the US dollar, against a stable coin. But in this one, it's Cardano versus Bitcoin. Well, your money is in Bitcoin. So you just come on over here, you put in your little passcode, because they'll make you set up a passcode. You put in your little passcode, it'll open up your trading center, right? And if you have Bitcoin in your account, I just do market price, best market price. I come in here, the amount I want to do is you'll have a balance. You can either put in the balance you want, or you can select an amount. It'll tell you how much Bitcoin that you have, and you hit buy, and it'll buy Cardano with your Bitcoin. Okay. So then once you buy Cardano with your Bitcoin, that Cardano will show up in your trading account. Remember, we were just looking at trading accounts, margin accounts, main accounts. So then you go back to your trading account. Okay. And it'll just kind of finish it up by looking at the trading account and showing exactly how you can do this. Let it load. My computer's running really slow right now. I apologize. I got 1,000 things open. It's kind of how I operate. That's why I have to have like these fast computers. But also I got Theta Network open, and it's mining Bitcoin. Well, it's mining Theta Coin, which is increasing in price. And if you guys want to mine Bitcoin or mine a cryptocurrency, Theta.tv is a great one to mine because it's a few dollars a coin right now. In like 4 days, I got like 10 coins. That's like making like $50 a week just by having an application open on your desktop. I'll show that to you guys here in a second. So we go back into here, and let's say that we're talking about this $80 of Bitcoin that I have in this account, right? So once it loads, let's just say that that's my Cardano. So I'm going to go into the trade account, and this is Dent. I can transfer it. Okay. So I can take my Dent and I can transfer it. So I click transfer, and I can transfer it from my trading account to my main account. I can choose the amount I want, and I can confirm. When I do that, let's just say I did that, and let's just say that was Cardano. Now I go back to the main account. I know this is a lot of steps, but it's just we're working with systems that have to kind of work this way. Now I go back to my main account, and I go to withdraw. When I click withdraw, it's going to ask me for an external wallet address. Right? So look at that. It asked me for a wallet address right there. Now I can have one that I save in there, or I can go to, like, for instance, my MetaMask account, right? And let's say that this is Telcoin or your Cardano. I can go into my Telcoin, right? I only can do it on my phone, so I can only receive it on my phone. But I can go into my Telcoin. I can grab the wallet address. I plug the wallet address in here. I choose how much I want to send, and I hit confirm. And it sends it to that wallet address. So if you wanted to buy Cardano and you can't do it anywhere else, you just send Bitcoin to one of these exchanges. You buy Cardano on that exchange, and then you transfer the Cardano out. It's like a 4-step process. It actually is way faster than what I just showed you. And so I'm making tutorial videos on all this. So I'm going to do a transaction exactly like that, where I'm in Coinbase. I send money to KuCoin. I buy Cardano with it, and I send the Cardano to my Coinbase wallet. Or I send Cardano to my Ledger wallet, right? So I know there's a lot of steps, but if you can't buy Cardano in your country or in your state, this is the way that you have to do it, right? Now, Mark, I'm almost positive that you'll be able to get on the crypto.com app and it'll work fine for you. Okay. If it doesn't, let me know and we'll see what we can do to help you. Because also what I'll do for you, a lot of you guys, is once this mastermind gets going, we have a level of trust. You guys can start breaking out into small groups. In that small group, you guys can start trading amongst each other, right? So think about this is, let's say that Gregory can buy Cardano, no problem, and Mark can buy Bitcoin. Mark can send Greg $100 in Bitcoin. Mark can buy Cardano with it and send Cardano back to Mark. Right? So now you guys basically like, hey, look, you can get that coin, I can't. I can get this coin, you can't. Let's hook up. I'll send Bitcoin as an intermediary. Because that's kind of what blockchain is talking about. That's what it's doing. And one of the best ways to do that is through an interoperability token like Stellar Lumens, XRP, these types of tokens, because the transaction rate is going to be a lot cheaper. So if I go from Bitcoin to Stellar, I send Greg Stellar. He goes from Stellar to Cardano, right? Buys my Cardano back. Well, yeah, Cardano, and then sends me the Cardano. We're going to save on the transaction fee. Okay. So I know that's a lot. What's that, Mark?
And so can I, maybe a little off topic question?
Yeah.
So in my 401k, I'm not allowed to buy Bitcoin, but I do have the Bitcoin ETF, the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust.
Is that GBTC?
Yes.
I own it too.
Oh, okay. So, I've just read a lot of things, back and forth about it, some very complimentary and some really negative. And I was just curious on your thoughts on that. And I'm not asking for financial advice. I just wanted to see what you thought of that type of financial vehicle for a 401k.
I like it. And the reason I like it is that Grayscale has basically put the reserves of their company in Bitcoin. So any cash that they have on hand is going into Bitcoin. What's Bitcoin's price doing? That means the value of that company is only going to go up. A lot of these MicroStrategies is another one that's doing that. Elon Musk just put 1.5 billion. So as Bitcoin goes up, the value of the reserves in those companies, the cash on hand, if you want to look at it like that, goes up as well. So I think it's a good thing. And I think that is a hedge against inflation. Those are good buys. Other stocks like that, we block, BLOK. There's another one, I think it's called Coin, KOIN or something like that. I own Block and I own EBTC and I own, I'll tell you the other one. The other one is, and I think GBTC. GBTC is doing really well today. It's up 13% today, by the way. Then Ledger, LEGR. So I own GBTC and LEGR. Those are two cryptocurrency stocks. Oh, what just happened there? Well, that's not right. Hold on. Weird. I just had a call option increase 24,000%, which didn't make any sense. If it increased 24,000% and I have 150 calls, I expect thousands upon thousands of dollars in my account, and it's only $300. So there's something wrong there. But yeah, so there's a lot of different things out there happening right now. We're seeing what I call the mixing of the waters. We're seeing the migration of stocks, the stock market and cryptocurrency coming together, right? And eventually, I'm telling you, is blockchain is going to dominate that market, that everything. So for people out there that want a little bit more understanding of how this works with companies and when you own a share of like a blockchain, is companies can do something called tokenization. All right. And so ICOs and when these, like, you know what IPOs are, you have ICOs, initial coin offerings. And so what initial coin offering is a tokenization of a company. Instead of selling stocks and shares to a company, we're selling tokens to the company, and everybody becomes a stakeholder instead of a shareholder. A stakeholder gives you governance within that blockchain. Think about it like a country. You have the ability to represent a certain portion and say of that company through the stake that you hold in it. And you're also, you also hold the stake in that company. So that means that you want it to succeed. You want it to happen, right? So there's things that happen there, but a lot of the companies on the New York Stock Exchange, what we're going to see start happening is they're probably going to start tokenizing on blockchains. And this is going to create a whole new world, a whole new market dynamic and economy. And we're seeing blockchain or cryptocurrency be integrated into the stock exchange. Eventually, I believe that the two will be one singular platform, and it'll be this like hybrid methodology where instead of stocks, it's tokenized on the blockchain. So stocks will basically be cryptocurrencies exchanged, and everything's going to transit over to this. That's how I see this happening. That's what is being the foundation is being laid for. So investing right now in these companies like the blockchain companies that are being traded on the stock exchange, I think is a really good idea. I really do. Like one, he said GBTC, great idea. You have MicroStrategies. They're trading at like $900 a share, I think. But they're also a great investment. Because here's the thing. MicroStrategies, MicroStrategy stock. Find the ticker code. Yeah, they're at $995. They're down 38% for the week because Bitcoin's down, right? So they're MSTR on the New York Stock Exchange, and they're down 38%. Or sorry, they're down $38, 3.76%. But guess what? If Bitcoin goes to $100,000, what's going to happen to their stock price? Pretty simple to see, and we all know what's going to happen with Bitcoin. JP Morgan is bullish on Bitcoin. They said that they're going to do blockchain adoption if their users want it. Morgan Stanley just said that they want to buy $5 billion of Bitcoin. You have CBDC, central banks, coming out and switching over to cryptocurrencies. JP Morgan came out with an article back in December saying that Bitcoin is being set up as the new global reserve currency. And if that's the case, guess what? That price at $40,000, $50,000 is low. I would say a baseline is Bitcoin might go up to $2 million this year, a coin, but a baseline for Bitcoin, I think a good base where it'll probably settle at is between 150 to 250,000, maybe even $500,000, which means there's a lot of room for growth right now. And you're going to see that growth come. It's going to happen. You're going to see trillions of dollars of market cap come towards Bitcoin, towards cryptocurrency. Not only that, is it creates a whole new market dynamic, a whole new market economy. What I mean by that is if you think about GDP, if you think about the gross domestic product, $100 trillion in gross domestic product, you think about being leveraged 5.2 times that, $520 trillion worth of debt and assets on this planet that's over leveraged on the gross domestic product. Well, how do you increase the gross domestic product? How do you increase the value of money exchanged on this planet? Well, you need a new market. You need a new market economy that produces more value, new value that was not there before. And that's what blockchain does, is it produces a whole new market economy that was never there before. New businesses, new ways to make money, new ways to go out there and earn money, new money's being incorporated, as well as we have the space economy that's coming up as well the next 5 to 10 years. This is going to increase that whole market dynamic as well, because that's going to be traded on these exchanges. And so that $100 trillion GDP is probably going to rise to 500 trillion, $1 quadrillion GDP very soon in the next 10 years. And so if you think about that amount of influx into a new market financial system, think about what percentage return that you're going to get on your money now. That becomes massive. Let me go ahead. Karen, go ahead with your question.
You broke up a little bit on my end when you were saying what you thought Bitcoin would go to in the next year or so. So could you just repeat that? And I had one other. Oh, I just wanted to mention about the cheat sheets that you sent out. Those are great, but I tried to print it and it's not clear at all. And even when I zoom in on it, when I have it downloaded, I can't see it very well. Is that on my end, or is it just I
will upload high quality PNG photos of them.
Perfect. Thank you.
That'll be a lot better because it's in PDF format. So I will upload high quality PNG. Let me make a note of that. Docs PNG. But yeah, and so don't be confused by those as well. I know there's a lot of stuff in there. You'll learn that stuff over the next coming weeks. That's all about charting, technical analysis, and understanding that stuff. Okay. And then Bitcoin, I said, could go anywhere to $2 million and up. But I think when it drops and comes back down and does a correction, it'll probably settle between 150 to 500, somewhere in that range. And that would be a good baseline price where it'll stay at. And who knows, Bitcoin could right now crash down to $4,000. Let's say that Bitcoin crashes down to $4,000 right now. What are you going to do? Buy the hell of it. I'm just going to buy it all up as much as I possibly can. Because you know what? I didn't do it before, and I should have. I was actually Bitcoin's biggest thorn in their side. I hated Bitcoin. Hated it. Absolutely don't. No. Put your money in Ether. No. Get away from Bitcoin. Nope. Stay away from it. Now I'm like Bitcoin. Just put your money in Bitcoin. Just get your money in. Just get it in. Trust me, it's worth it. And anytime that I received Bitcoin, I'd always sell it. Wishing I kept it. 2 years ago, I was receiving Bitcoin when it was at $3,000. You know, like 0.04 Bitcoin, 0.05 Bitcoin, 0.09 Bitcoin. Now that's worth thousands upon thousands of dollars, and I sold it all. You know, foresight, man. Foresight and hindsight. So, okay. So I hope that answered your question. I will get those documents out and printed on there. Mariama, go ahead, please.
People are talking more and more about quantum financial system. If that happens, can cryptocurrency survive?
Yeah. So everything being talked about by the quantum financial system, QFS right now, is completely just there. Let me help you out here. Let me look it up real quick. Everything I was seeing before was about Nasser Jassera, right? So Foster Swiss seems to be the one talking about quantum financial system, QFS. I haven't seen anything that's like out there pertaining to it legitimately. All I see is the people who are Nasser Jassera talking about QFS, quantum financial system. They're the ones talking about all this. Trump had quantum.gov. Trump started investing in quantum networking, quantum computing, these types of things. Other than that, there's really nothing in the sense of the quantum financial system. We have to understand in the sense of progressive states, they go from one technology to another technology to another technology, is we have to take baby steps. We have to build a foundation of infrastructure before we can go into the next level. And that's what Trump set up. Now, with that being said, in the sense of quantum infrastructure, in the sense of developing the type of technology for that as a foundation, we're a whiles away from that. 5 years, 10 years away from that. But how can Bitcoin survive, or how can blockchain survive? Anything that they do will be based upon blockchain. The blockchain technology.
They said that the system will be based on gold and silver. If that happened, I don't know.
Okay. But who's saying this? Charlie Ward? Right? I mean, you gotta take the information for what it is. Nobody in the financial and economic systems are talking about this stuff, except for it. Don't take it the wrong way. Conspiracy theorists on YouTube, right? And like Dave from X22 or Charlie Ward or these types of people. And at the same time, they're, buy my stuff or do this or do that, right? I haven't found anything legitimate about this stuff. I've searched, I've looked at it, and I'm not going to, blow hopium up people's butts. I'm not going to blow smoke up people's butts. If this was a legitimate thing, if this was a real thing, I would be talking about it. I haven't found out any legitimacy towards it. And so therefore is, if there is something called the QFS, I think it might be disinformation. It could be true. Who knows? But it's not going to be what they say it is, because if it was, well, then I think we already see relevance of it happening. Because you got to remember, the cabal, they set a narrative. They tell you what they're going to do before they do it. All right. They don't tell you through conspiracy theorists on YouTube. They tell you through mainstream media exactly what they're doing, how it's going to happen. So I don't put, maybe I'm wrong, but I will put money that I'm not. That, one day we're going to have a quantum financial system, and it's going to be a quantum financial backbone. And all that means is how data is exchanged is going to happen through quantum networking and quantum computers. That's it. Now, currently we have something called the central banking system. The central banking system works off of a software called SWIFT. That's currently in the process of being moved out, and basically a blockchain technology is being integrated into it to make it faster and more efficient. It's a blockchain technology. Eventually, that's going to go towards something like XRP, right? XRP is going to be that intermediary for exchange for those technologies. Maybe down the road, it's going to be a quantum financial system where I don't understand how gold and silver would fit into that because it makes no sense, but maybe it will. I don't know. Gold and silver are a hedge against inflation. Currently with the fractional reserve system. If you remember what I was talking about the other day, I kind of gave this pyramid, is our whole financial system is based upon the structure of a pyramid. The bottom level is survivability, barter and trade, food, drink, clean water, these types of things. If the whole world went to shit overnight, if the whole world went back to the Stone Age, we're not going to be trading in gold and silver. We're not going to be trading in cryptocurrency. We're not going to be trading in dollars. We're going to be trading in food, seeds, clean water, technology, and knowledge, right? That's the foundation of our whole value system. The next level is going to be gold and silver, tradable commodities, these types of things, gold, silver, copper, metal, steel, these types of things. This is where value is going to be built. And this comes after civilization has built up back up to a certain point and degree. The next level is the fiat currency markets. These are based upon primarily the last three: production, value, gross domestic product, right? The amount of value or energy being put into a system. And now you can create a fiat currency or a fractional reserve banking system. The next level above that is blockchain technology, what we're talking about, blockchain digital currencies. Now, if an EMP strikes, the top two go away and you're left with gold and silver. 1 second, Kosti. You're left with gold and silver. But if an EMP strikes and the electricity goes away and the power systems go away and you're left with gold and silver, and you have Mad Max type of world where you have rebels running around and trying to break down your house to get to your food, you have to leave. You can't stay in your house in your community. Maybe you can. But let me ask you this, is who's going to accept gold and silver for trade? Almost nobody. I want food. I want Jack Daniels. I want cigarettes, because that's what people are going to want. And so we have to look at it in that sense, is that right now in our system, gold is the fallback. Gold and silver is the fallback if the fractional reserve currency system collapses, of which it is. And that just means it's a hedge, right? It's a safe haven against that. But then we also have a parallel system, cryptocurrency. And so these two systems play a crucial role in understanding where backups lay. If the electric grid stabilizes and stays completely good and we don't have to worry about anything and no EMPs, digital currencies, that parallel network, and then gold and silver become that backup, that safe haven. It's exactly what we're talking about here. But the quantum financial system being based off gold and silver, there's an asteroid out there that they plan to mine in the next 10 years that's worth $14 quadrillion in gold. What does that do to the price of gold? Deflates it, brings it down. Gold's no longer valuable because now it's as common as copper, right? So I'm going to go Nick and then Kosti, okay? So go ahead, Nick.
Which is best to use, apps or desktop?
Preference, like we were saying, it's the crypto.com desktop doesn't work, but the app does.
Okay, great.
So it depends on what you can get to work. Like I got KuCoin on my phone. I can't trade KuCoin on my phone, but I can trade it on my desktop. Just freaking weird. I don't know. It's Yeah.
Super strange. Thank you.
Yep. It's just kind of how, yeah. Coasty, go ahead, my friend.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man. How are you?
Good. I just wanted to, I don't know if you know about this cryptocurrency yet, but the JPM coin, the lead engineer from JP Morgan created a new currency called Kendra. And it just came out, I believe, a few months ago.
Okay.
Had initial offering. And as I understand, this coin is actually faster than XRP. And I don't remember the gentleman's name, the doctor, but he's an advisor. But he wrote like the white paper for blockchain.
Okay.
And in Bitcoin references 3 sheets of this gentleman's paper into Bitcoin.
So JPM, so it's called Onyx, right?
No, Kendra, Kendra. That's the name of the currency.
Okay, hold on. I got an article right here. Behind digital currency efforts called Onyx, Georgia Papadopoulos phone interview, JPM coin. How do you spell it? Kendra, you said? K-E-N?
K-E-N-D-R-A or K-E-N-D-A. I think the ticker is a KDA is a ticker.
Oh, Kadena. Okay.
Yeah, Kadena. And actually the backer for this project is Fidelity. And they're the only backers as far as I know.
Well, that's why we have a mastermind, right? Is this it right here? The one I'm looking at?
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, look at that.
It's hard to get. Huh.
Yeah, I bet it is. I wonder where they're always going to tell you Binance here. But it doesn't mean that Binance actually sells it.
No. It's actually I've read everything, and it's quite impressive from what I read so far.
All right, hold on. Individuals, Kadena, public blockchain, private blockchain, smart contracts. Yeah, we'll have to check this out. I look, anything that's backed by big finance, like big tech, I recommend getting. If JP Morgan's coming out with a coin and the coin's 34 cents, probably a good idea to get it.
This is like actually an offshoot of their coin. Like
okay.
the lead engineer of the JPM coin created this company.
Gotcha.
So he knows the ins and outs of the JPM coin.
And that is Doug Beardsley, engineering, cryptography. I'm just kind of looking at who they have behind them. Yeah, it's the top JP Morgan people. All right. Yeah. It could be the one. Who knows? And I always say that the Bitcoin of the next 20 years probably hasn't even been built yet. But you know what? That's what these mastermind groups are about is exactly what Coasty just told us. He goes, look, dude, check this out, KDA. Well, maybe it's worth it to hold a little KDA, right? And so if we have that type of news, hey, look, JP Morgan's working on this. This is why we have these groups like this, because we can all come together and see this information and then judge it for ourselves. And so I thank you for that. That's cool. I'm gonna check this out. I'm gonna see where we can actually buy it. I'm gonna actually see if I can if we can buy it on KuCoin. Any more, Coasty? Any other question?
That was it. Thank you.
Thank you, man. And then Chessa, go ahead.
So when you're talking about like the KuCoin, is it better to buy our or like Bitcoin on Coinbase and then transfer it, or can you buy it right there from KuCoin?
Well, that's what I was trying to say is if you can actually, if you're in a country that you can use KuCoin, you can try to buy it there, but their fees are really high in the sense of credit card transactions. Incredibly high in the sense of credit card transactions.
Wanted to
So,
buy that Cardano.
Yeah.
And right now all I had is Coinbase. So
Okay,
I
so-
registered for the crypto.com.
right. So if you want to buy Cardano and you can't get on crypto.com, so try the app with crypto.com. Okay. Try the app. If you can't get onto the app and you need to buy Cardano off of KuCoin, do what I say. Buy the Bitcoin on Coinbase, transfer it to a wallet on KuCoin, and then exchange the Bitcoin for Cardano, and then just hold it in your KuCoin account or hold it on your ledger.
Okay, and then one last quick question. I just got the loan from my 401k.
Okay.
Do you think it's better to buy Bitcoin now, or should I wait until Sunday? You've been talking a lot about these banks and stuff buying in, so.
Yeah. So right now it's at 48,400. And I would say that Bitcoin is probably going to rise in price before Sunday. But here's the thing: is it could come back down to 47,000. I don't know, right?
Yeah, it dipped around 1 o'clock, but
But also you have something called dollar cost averaging. And so let me show you this. And I want to show you kind of why I'm bullish, very bullish on this. This was the buy down yesterday. Okay. This went down to just under $43,000. Now, remember how we talked about candles and wicks the other day? See that long wick up? That's all the sellers being bought up. Okay. That means that people rejected this low price for Bitcoin and bought it all the way back up. And if you look at the trek, it's going back up. It's starting to have this upward trend, right? And so what I'm seeing happen is Bitcoin in the next few days, Bitcoin will be, just like I said on Sunday, 53,000, 54,000. And I could be wrong, and it could drop to 39,000. And if it does, I'm just going to buy more. I actually hope it does, because then I'll buy more. But I know, and I can tell you with confidence, that when you see something like this and it gets rejected and buys up like that, there's a massive demand that people are trying to buy Bitcoin at this price, that people understand that Bitcoin is only going to rise in price. And I think that the new estimates are that Bitcoin will hit 100,000 by the end of the year. And if it doubles at its price value by the end of the year, that's a pretty good investment. And either way, if you buy now today, if you buy some today and you buy some Sunday, dollar cost averaging, right? So let's say that you buy some today and the price tomorrow goes up to 49,000. That was a good buy. And let's say the price Sunday is 46,000. Now buy at 46,000. Now your average price is between 48 and 46, so like 47,000. That's dollar cost averaging. You're averaging out the cost of the asset over time. So I would say if you have the money and you wanted to get into it, buy some now. It's a good time to buy.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else? All right, there we go. 1 second, Mark. Let Daniel go first.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
So I sent you a message the other night about my current transfer, because I'm one of these people that has difficulty buying in Alabama. So I was currently buying on Coinbase Bitcoin and then transferring it to Atomic Wallet. And then in Atomic Wallet, I would transfer or exchange Bitcoin for ADA. Do you feel that that is the most efficient, or are you familiar with Atomic Wallet, or do you recommend another exchanging method?
I don't know Atomic Wallet. I haven't used them. I'm looking at your email right here. It's asking you that you need VTHO to exchange VET, right?
That was actually another question I had. But yes, that is one of the ones I was about to ask, though, was secondly, I was going to try and exchange some VET for ADA, and then it said I needed 21 VTHO to exchange it. And I wasn't even aware of what that meant. So that's a secondary question.
Okay. Well, let me answer that one real quick. So VET is the primary coin of the VE chain blockchain. VTHO is the fuel used to exchange VET. If you stake your currency on the VE chain blockchain, you automatically generate VET. And so I got like 3,666 VTHO. If you need some to make that transaction, let me know. I'll send you some.
How do you recommend doing that? How do you recommend staking that in order to build that balance up?
There's the VThor. I'll put a link out there for the VThor blockchain of how to download, how to do it. So I'll put a link out there how to get your VET into there. But with VET is not an interoperability token, so you don't want to exchange VET for Cardano. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
You would want to basically what you would want to exchange is like Bitcoin. Bitcoin is like kind of like the dollar in the blockchain universe. So you exchange VET for Bitcoin, Bitcoin for Cardano. But with the Atomic Wallet, anytime that you exchange VET, you're going to have to pay a fee, and that fee is going to be VTHO.
Okay. Do you recommend any particular pools, or have you said anything on staking Cardano? Have you had any suggestions on that? I know it sounds like you're into that. Do you have any recommendation?
Moonstake is the best one that I found. Remember how I told you if you download the Cardano node, you can see all the pools that are staking in Cardano.
Mm-hmm.
The Moonstake wallet, and I will send a link out for this as well, the Moonstake wallet. If you have Cardano, you can send your Cardano to the Moonstake wallet and you can stake your Cardano on there. Now, here's the thing, is what we talked about earlier, is with VET, for instance. VET, you need a minimum of 1 million VET to stake it on the blockchain. That's horrible. 1 million VET is like what? $350,000. I don't got that money, right? On the Cardano blockchain, you need a minimum of sometimes about 20,000 to 50,000 Cardano to stake it. It depends on what pool you're going into. But the main pools of how Cardano actually operates, you need 1 million Cardano to stake on the blockchain. But you can pool that together with other pools. With Moonstake, right now they have for staking available, you can stake ADA, Atom, and ONT. And so that's pretty cool. So you can just transfer your Cardano there and you'll get 5% rewards on your stake.
Okay.
And always remember is anytime that you see APY or a percentage yield on a coin, it's not dollars. It's not the dollar value. It's actually in the coin. So you get 5% of your coin back, 5% of your coin balance every year. And you got to remember that price is always fluctuating. So if Cardano goes from $1 to $100 and you're getting 5% a year, you get 100x that price, right?
Okay. And last question, I had to leave for just a minute, and I heard you mention something about showing a particular crypto that you were mining. Did you actually go over that yet, or?
Theta Fuel. Yeah, no, I can go over that here in a minute. And Daniel, one of the things I'm going to recommend to you is I know we've kind of talked a little bit. I'm going to send you my calendar link as well. And anybody who feels they really need like that extra help or that extra assistance, I can't have everybody, right? If I have 100 people, like I want an hour, right? It's gonna be really hard. So what I want to do is I want to try to get maybe even private Zoom sessions, like Daniel. I know Daniel has some questions. If someone has questions along Daniel, let me know, and I can just do a Zoom with like maybe 3 or 4 people, and we can kind of go a little bit more in depth with it, right? Like kind of like Walt. I'm gonna help Walt out find that money. Right. So that's kind of a personal thing because you're really looking at his accounts. But if like someone like has questions like Daniel and you guys kind of want to get in a group and say, hey, Josh, can we do a Zoom with you? And there's like 3 or 4 of you, just let me know and I'll jump on. Okay.
Okay.
So because I understand that this is all new to everybody and there's a lot of gray zone and there's a lot of things that we need to figure out. So I want to be available for all of you for that. but I want to mitigate the time, right? I want to help with the time. So if 10 people have the same question, I don't want to do 10 different individual sessions when we can all just have that 10 people jump on one Zoom call and we can figure it out right there. Right. So Daniel, I recommend is if anybody else has the same questions as you, is post them on the feed. And if other people are like, yeah, me too. Well, let's create a Zoom and I'll jump in with you guys.
Got it.
All right. Especially with like what everybody was saying in the sense of transferring from VET to Cardano or Cardano to Bitcoin. I know that that's going to be a problem because people want to get into these coins and they can't buy them. So I have no problem going in and actually like Chessa, if Chessa wants me to do it for her, I can do a Zoom call where we go into her accounts and I guide her through it. And if she's okay with that, other people can jump in and watch it and see how it happens. And I'll just control her computer and do it for her. Okay.
Gotcha.
So if that's a benefit to her and she's okay with that, we can do something like that. Or I can just do the tutorial myself. I just have to buy some Bitcoin to exchange and do it. Right. But I can do that. No problem. But I just want to have a demand for it. And that's what these sessions are about during the week. And we can have these every day if we wanted to, right? We can do this tomorrow if you guys want to. It just has to be at a different time. I just need to know that people, hey, look, I got some questions. Can we do another Zoom session? Right now, this is Sunday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. But if we need to get on Monday, let's get on a Monday. If we need to get on a Friday, let's get on Friday. Because this is all about you guys and getting you guys to the point where we're all comfortable buying, selling, trading, and investing in assets and securities, to where when all this stuff is happening, it's happening right now. When all this stuff starts to happen, we're all sitting there going, man, I'm set. Got everything where it needs to be. All right. So Daniel, just let me know. Is there any other questions you had, my friend?
No, I'm just really interested. I think a lot of other people are probably about these more. I've been researching some of the more passive ways, like what you're talking about with staking or if it's mining or things like that. And I'm just interested if, for some of us who may not have the, 15, 20,000, to kind of put towards some of these coins to put a substantial stake, ways to begin passively kind of getting some of this to build up to that. So
we're getting there. So the thing is if I jumped into staking and borrowing and hedging and all that stuff last week, people would be like, what the hell? This is just too much for me. So we have to build a foundation, right? We're going to get there. But we have to build a foundation. Now, here's the thing is my friend showed me the one I was talking about before that makes 20 to 100 grand a day doing this kind of stuff. He took $100 and staked it and made 280% on it in a day. The next day he did the same thing. The next day he did the same. He went from $100 investment or $200 investment to like $10,000 by the end of the week. So trust me, if you get that bull run and you're in that week and they need liquidity in a blockchain and you're loaning your money, if you're taking a loan out on 10X, if you have $100 and you're taking a $1,000 loan out, right? And you take that $1,000 and you put it on a stake and you're earning 230% on that stake, do the math. You're making some really good money there on your borrowed money. But the problem is if that price goes down, now you have risk because you're going to get liquidated. And if you get liquidated, well, guess what? That $100 you invested is now nothing. So you got to understand the risk. And that's why we need to kind of go through these steps to do that. And if you guys want to go out on your own and start looking at how to stake and how to do all this stuff and go feel free, go right ahead. And then you can ask me questions about it as well. All right. And there's other people on the platform that have a lot of knowledge on cryptocurrency. And so you can ask the question in the feed and they can feel free to answer it as well. Okay. So I hope that answers your question there, Daniel. Mark and then Mick.
So I'm a real experienced stock trader, and the hardest thing for me is all the different terms. And so I just want to suggest to everybody to Google crypto terms, and there's a bunch of different sites on there that tell you what things mean. Like to me, I'm a major support, resistance, tension guy as far as charting. And, half the time I'm like, what the heck are you guys talking about? anyway, so to me, that's been really helpful. And it was something that I did earlier today. And it was like, wow, okay. Because some of it, I feel like a dumbass. But it's basically a different term for something I've been doing for a while.
And for everybody interested, I posted it on the platform.
Oh, cool.
So there's a glossary of terms, and I'm going to put it under invest. So there's 3 topics on the group right now. So if you go into the group, there's getting started with crypto investing, investing in economic basics, and mastermind videos. So all these videos would be under the topic of mastermind video. So all you have to do is go to discovery, and you should see topics there, and you just click on the topics and all the posts for that will come up. So all the videos come up. So this one is under getting started with crypto. Yep. Getting started with crypto investing. And so it's posted right now, and I'll get a notification right now. And that's crypto terms and glossary.
Cool. And then lastly, I just wanted to share, I had this great conversation with this young kid at my day job. And he was showing me on charts how all these different crypto stocks, started or coins started at, tenths of a penny, and then rocketed up and, either got near $1 or whatever, and then came right back down again. And, it really opened my eyes because I was really reluctant to do this. And I had known some really wealthy financial advisor people, and they hate crypto. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, it kept me out of the market. But looking at all of that, it's like, oh my God, the opportunity is huge. And a group like this with so many people looking around, we have a massive opportunity that, for people to say, hey, check out this coin, look what it's doing. Mm-hmm. And if we can get in and just, put in a small investment into it, I mean, something like that could be a life-changing experience. So anyway, like I said, I'm new to this, but I'm so excited.
So it's funny that you said that, because that's kind of what I do is I look for those gems, right? I try to find those ones that are trading under a penny, okay, that could potentially be the next big thing. Excuse me. And look, these are different than penny stocks, guys. We're not talking penny stocks here. We're not talking about a company that went public that's making, $100,000 in revenue a year. We're talking about legitimate technologies that have use case scenarios, that have a market already, a piece of the market already. We're looking at Dent, DENT right now. There's another one that I showed you guys earlier that I hold is TEL, TEL, right? But Dent is trading at 0.001 cents, 1/10 of a penny, right? And so it's trading at 0.01 penny, and it went up 350%, or it went up to 350% the other day and then came back down. What is Dent? Well, let's look. Dent coin. So the new digital and global mobile operator. Do you remember phone cards? Remember how phone cards were really like the currency that was exchanged in third world countries in the early 2000s and late 1990s? That's what Dent is. It's basically a cheap, efficient, and effective SIM card producer that works on the blockchain for people in third world countries to get phone access. Mobile data sharing, worldwide data plans, global voice calls, marketplace for telco and digital assets. I'm telling you, they have something here. I don't know if they're going to be the leader. I don't know if they're going to win, right? I don't know if there's many other people that are doing a lot of this stuff. But, for $100, you can own 10,000 of them. Not a bad price. And for $100, if you have stable income on $100, people can go spend on a meal. So the cost of one meal out at a restaurant for you and your family could be 10,000 dent, which could turn into $1 or $10 or $1,000. Who knows? And so I look at it as there's a lot of risk when you go to these companies and you look at this. When I look at Dent's team, I look at what they're doing. They have an app, who they're working with. I look at all the levels of investment into those companies. I look at who's behind them, who's investing in them. And there's a lot of investors that flock towards these companies. Right now, they're in over they're in over 80 different countries. So they have a market share in 80 different companies, 80 different countries. They have, a lot of venture capital that's invested money into them. Those are good things to look at. Another one is TEL. I believe that's still trading under a penny. And so what got me is they actually have an iOS app, and I went to download it, and their beta is closed out. So you can't even get into the app because they're just doing testing right now. And so Telcoin is a little bit more kind of the same thing. Instant transfers, mobile convenience. These are the Venmo of blockchain. PayPal, Venmo of blockchain. That's what they're trying to do. Send money instantly anywhere in the world, any currency, any crypto. So Cash App, Venmo. And they got some good investors behind them as well. And they're out of Tokyo. So I bought a little bit of Telcoin. I didn't spend much money. I didn't pump much money into them. But I pumped enough because if they do go up, I can buy more, but I also have a base that I already bought with. And so it's looking for these technologies, envisioning what the future might look like, right? Seeing where the future might go, how it's going to work, and understanding where these technologies might fit in and how much of a market share they might actually get. So that's kind of what I do in the sense of this research. And Mark's absolutely correct, is that working together like this in this group is going to be a mastermind, truly a mastermind. It's going to build up, hey, look at this coin. And one of these coins that like Karen or Keith says, hey, check this one out. And we all pop $100 into it, could potentially be that $100 turns into $100,000s of dollars. It's because of this group. So that's the importance of what we're doing is we're all learning how to do the research, how to look at the things, how to look at the technical analysis, how to look at the companies. And this is a lot what we're going to get into Thursday is we're going to look at these companies and what to look for, how to look at them, right? Like I talked about OGN, Origin Coin. This is backed by the founder of Reddit, the founder of YouTube, by investors and angel investors in Uber and Airbnb. And then just 2 days ago, the CEO of Uber says what? We're thinking about moving to blockchain technology because we feel that our users could use it. And you know damn well that they had conversations with Origin. So I'm like, I want to buy some Origin, right? Like, sounds like a good coin. So just it's these types of things that are going to help us as a group. Now, Cardano, I knew about Cardano when Cardano was a penny. How did I know about it? Because of one of these groups. I have a friend that's in one of these groups right here. And they were talking about Cardano exactly the way we're talking about all these other coins right now. And they bought into it with hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars. And you can imagine how much money they got in return for their money now. They bought into it under a penny.
May I ask a question? Sorry, I can't raise my hand so you can see it because I have it blocked right now.
Yeah, go ahead.
But I heard about this project called Safe Haven. Okay. And I know Sunday we were talking about like if there is inheritances or if something were to happen to you, they have started this token that you'll be able to get, and it's under the SHA. And what they're going to be doing when you get this, you would be able to do like an inheritance, and they will hold all your keys so that if something were to happen to you and you can actually do your inheritances listed in there for all the different cryptos and who you want it all designated to. Mm-hmm. And I was just wondering if anybody else has seen this because it's kind of down the list too. It's like, in the hundreds of where it's been rated so far.
I got it right here. I'm checking it out. So yeah, we can look at this. We can put it on the platform. And if you guys find these, feel free to put it on put it on the group, in the group. Okay. And I can even create a topic that's like new, coins to review or something. And maybe that'd be a good idea. Right there. There's Safe Haven. If you guys check the chat, it's in the chat. But thanks. I'm going to check that one out for sure. And then Mick, I'm sorry. I know you've been waiting, my friend. Go ahead.
G'day all, how are we today?
Doing well, man.
Just wanted, how did you go? Did you jump on GRT before the boom?
I got in GRT at like $1.19, I think.
That's when we spoke last.
Yeah.
So we tripled our money.
Yep.
Just a quick one. I've got a couple of questions. One was in regards to a move that I've done, which I probably now regretted getting away. I've put a lot of money into Ether and Chainlink.
Okay.
Now, Chainlink I'm happy with, but there's a lot of rumors happening around with Ether that there's something happening where it's not allowing the market to be actually go where it's originally going up, in regards to maybe Polestar and other companies like that trying to restrict the market from going up just so their prices could go up. So a lot of stakeholders in those companies pretty much playing the market with it. Have you heard anything about that, or?
I haven't heard anything about market manipulation. I think that's what you're hinting towards, is market manipulation with Ether. I do know that they've been having troubles with their blockchain in the sense of scalability. And they're trying to hush because this is, remember in August, they were doing Ether 2.0 with sharding.
Yep, testing.
And the introduction, and it failed miserably. And that's when their price started to go to 600 and then crash back down to like $300. And they're supposed to be releasing it, I believe this week is the V2. And I haven't heard anything. There's been no news from them. Here's the thing. If they release V2 and it comes out and reduces the price of scalability and operability on the blockchain, because right now, to transact anything on the blockchain is expensive as hell. If they reduce that problem and get rid of that problem, Ether is going to skyrocket to $5,000, $10,000.
But if it doesn't?
If it doesn't, $400.
So am I risking and holding on to the money that I've got on it, or should I just move it to Bitcoin instead?
Can you send me the source where you heard that information?
Yeah, it was BitBoy, and apparently the report
on Twitter,
and he's come. Yep, on his YouTube channel, and apparently tomorrow he's going to release the investigation.
So he could potentially change the market just by doing that.
That's right. That's why I'm second guessing on holding on to my Ether or moving it to Bitcoin now while it's still safe.
That's a hard one. I mean,
I know.
What if he's trying to, move people out so you can buy low and then it skyrockets, right?
Well, he's been preaching Ether for a long time, and that's why it's only the last, probably I'd say, couple of days that he's stopped dealing with Ether. And
Can you send me the link to the video or the tweets that he's talking about this with? I want to check it out. But also, I'm on his page right now. And he goes,
today's episode, today's live episode.
I'm going to check it out. We'll post it on and if you could post it on the group or I can post it on the group, that's fine. But he said also February is going to be huge for Cardano. It's probably your last chance to buy Cardano under $1.
That's right. Yeah. So that's my worry. I'm happy with the Chainlink investment, but I'm just worried about the Ether investment. If I should move it to Bitcoin or take the risk.
I've been thinking the same thing because I have not a massive investment in Bitcoin or in Ether, but Ether hasn't been moving much.
That's right. And it should have boomed it should have gone up at least to 2.5 by now, but it's still no movement.
Mm-hmm. So is it
worrying?
Is it the Bitcoin Tops 50K episode that he talks about the Ether?
Yeah, the live episode. Yep.
All right, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to post it on the platform. People want to watch it. And look, I can't give financial advice, right?
Yeah.
We have to make informed decisions. cryptocurrencies are going to fall and increase. Is Ether going away? No. Ether is not going away. Will Ether drop down to $400 a coin? Potentially. It could happen. Does that mean that it's not going to go back up again? No. Where's Ether's real value with the people invested in it, the people building on it? Mick, you and I know that that's probably a $50,000 coin.
Yeah.
If they can get the technology to scale, they can reduce the cost on the blockchain. It's a $50,000 coin.
I'm happy to hold on to it if it's a market manipulation thing because it will end up booming. But if it's Ether 2.0 or whatever doesn't come through, then that's a big loss.
That's right. So if it's market manipulation and they have it already and it's all good to go and they're manipulating it to keep it artificially low, okay,
yeah, so
firstly, that's concerning.
Yes.
That's
and that
really
means
concerning.
they're just holding it so the other, the ones like Polkadot and all the other ones could rise up in value first before they launch it. That's what I'm thinking, just so they could launch the other ones first. The
Cardano, Polkadot, all those things, and that's why we're seeing them come up as well.
Correct.
And so that's a good possibility, and that's why we haven't heard any news on Ethereum V2 and what's going on with it.
Correct.
So that's a really good possibility. But if they are artificially manipulating the price to do this, fuck them.
That's right. Yeah.
Because that's market manipulation, and that's them trying to make money. And I'm not about that. And so, and look, if we're going to look at any deep state blockchain, the only deep state blockchain you're going to have is the biggest one that people are building on, and that's going to be Ethereum. But that's why I say is put 25% of your investment in it. And if that 25% investment at $1,800 goes to $400, buy more. Because eventually Ethereum is going to be a $50,000 coin, no matter what. And the reason I say that is because look who's backing them. Google Ventures, Microsoft. Big tech is backing Ethereum.
Yeah. Is that why they're probably hoping for it to drop so they could buy it even at a cheaper price?
Well, that's what we saw happen to Bitcoin this weekend, right? If you watch Sunday's episode, an hour after that episode, Bitcoin dropped a few $1 billion in market cap. And then somebody bought up over the next few hours, $5 billion worth of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
That was not a coincidence at all. And I said, we're coming to a point of consolidation on this chart. Mark knows what I'm talking about when you're looking at technical analysis and you have buyers and sellers coming to an equilibrium. Price has to move in one movement or another movement. Typically, it's going to be in the movement of the trend. So that, and I said it on that video, I said, it's coming to a point of consolidation with an upward trend on two different time frames. You're sideways on the 1 hour time frame. On the 4 hour and the 1 day time frame, you have an upward trend. On the 1 week time frame, you have an upward trend. And so this is telling me that naturally, by market dynamics, Bitcoin should skyrocket up, but it can go either way. And if it does drop massively, a plunge, that's market manipulation. And that's someone selling off so someone can buy in at a cheaper price. Yeah. And that's exactly what we saw yesterday with Bitcoin. It dropped down like $1.5 billion in value. And then someone bought up, Sunday, someone bought up 5 billion over the course of a few hours at 47 and 48,000. And they're still doing it right now. And look, that's the problem when you have a virgin market, if you want to call it like that, where there is no regulation, there is no things in place, right? Is people who hoard the money can control and manipulate the money. Eventually, as more market cap comes in, their share gets diluted, right? It's going to even out. The problem with Bitcoin is there's no more Bitcoin produced. So if they're holding, 2 million Bitcoin, they're going to dominate and control the market. But if they dominate and control the market and they utilize that against us, people will stop using Bitcoin. There's no point in using Bitcoin if someone's just going to manipulate it and drop the price when they want to make a few bucks. So that's the beauty of blockchain, is we have that value and control over it because it's our usage that dictates the market dynamic. So something to keep in mind. I'm going to look into this Ethereum things. I just posted that video on the platform for everybody to see. if there's any more questions, please send them in a message on or post them in the feed because other people might have the same question. If you guys do want to get together on small little Zooms, if you guys kind of all have questions, start collaborating on the group. And if you guys have questions together, right, I can jump on a small Zoom and we can kind of talk and go over that stuff because not everybody, like Mick's not going to need the kind of same help that some other people need, right? So let's find these groups that have the same questions so we can kind of go over all this stuff. As well as you guys can start collaborating on the platform with like what Mark was saying with different coins that you're finding. We have what we just said, Safe Haven was one. We had Kandera, the JPM coin. Start posting this stuff in there. And we can start doing research into these coins and find if they're a legitimate investment. Okay?
I'll give you 2 coins to look at now that I think might be good gems to look at.
What's that?
Polka Market. So it hasn't
Polka
been
Market?
released yet. Yeah. So it's part of like the Polka Starter.
Okay.
So that one apparently is going to be released. Apparently it's got really good reviews on it. And the other one was ZIL, ZIL as well. That's they've got a pretty good base on it as well.
Interesting. And that's not the first time I've heard ZIL.
Yeah, ZIL's sitting at about 17 cents right now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's shot up actually. That was a lot lower. But yeah, that one's like got good fundamentals underneath it to look at.
And then also one that will be released soon is Spark coin. That's going to be on the Flare network.
Coin.
Yep.
Okay.
And so that's the interoperability on XRP. So basically it's a lightning network for XRP. So it increases the transaction rate for XRP. Very, very highly anticipated coin. They did an airdrop. They're doing an airdrop. If you held XRP in your in a wallet that took place in the airdrop prior to December 14th, 2020, you'll be receiving a 1.075 airdrop for every XRP coin you held. And Flare is supposed to be coming out probably around 14 cents a coin, but it's estimated to be like a $5 or $10 coin. So
I'll look into that, definitely.
Yep.
Oh, that's it from me then.
Thank you. Oh, Holly, go ahead real quick. Sorry. Holly, you got to unmute.
Okay, I think I'm unmuted.
Yeah, you're good. I can hear you.
Okay, so with the Bitcoin potential market manipulation that we're talking about, when you're saying that a bunch of people sell down so that the price drops so that they can buy it up, I'm not understanding, like, so who is selling down and then who is buying up? Is it the same people, or are they trying to get the price drop so people get scared and then sell theirs and so then they can buy more? Or
so think about this. Let's say I bought into Bitcoin. Let's say I had a bunch of money I bought into Bitcoin at $4,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now Bitcoin's trading at $48,000 and I realize that I want to buy more. Okay.
Yeah.
I own $4 billion worth of Bitcoin that I bought at $4,000. It's now worth $4 billion, right?
Okay.
So I want to buy more because I realize that it's going to go to 100,000. I want to make more money. So I sell $1 billion of my stake at a profit, right?
Yeah.
I drop the price. I take that profit that I just did and I take more money and I buy in.
Okay.
So I take 5 billion and now I buy in at this lower price, dollar cost averaging. But if I know it's going to go to $100,000, I'm going to make a lot more money. And I just sold, which dropped the price. I sold a large amount, which dropped the price, so I could buy in at a lower price.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Yep.
Okay. So basically what they're doing is they hoard a whole bunch of Bitcoin. They have $1 billion of Bitcoin. They sell $1 billion off at a profit, and then they buy it up at a lower price because they realize it's not going to go any lower.
Right. Okay.
And that's a telltale sign that put your money in Bitcoin. So,
Right.
I mean, I don't think there's anybody out there right now that tell you to sell Bitcoin.
Okay. Okay. That clears it out.
Okay, good.
Okay. Thanks.
All right. And if you guys have any more questions, please post them on the feed. Tag me in a question at symbol Joshua Reed. Feel free to start collaborating and let's start getting some information out there. If you guys want to start looking at different types of investments, different types of coins that are up and coming, ICOs, these types of things, start posting that information in there. I created a topic for it so we can start looking at it. And this is what it is. It's the collective mind working together to get this information out there so we can all get in before these things happen. Kind of like what he was just talking about, Polka Market. All right. And Zill is at 12 cents. I'm looking for a place to buy it. I can't find. It's probably, I'm going to look at Gate.io, see if I can buy it on Gate.io. But most likely it's going to have to be bought by transferring Bitcoin to an account and then purchasing it through your Bitcoin. Is what I'm assuming. But yeah, cool. Very cool. This was fun. I hope you guys are learning. I hope you guys are absorbing this information and taking it in, and that even the people who are like, oh my God, it's not retaining, are starting to get it, are starting to see it. So let me see. I want to see if Zill's, just want to see if Zill's, yep, there it is right there. So you can buy it on Gate.io. So the links for Gate.io are in there. You can buy Zill right here. It's at like 12 cents. I'm going to go buy some.
You could buy it on crypto.com as well.
Well, only certain states. I'm in
Oh,
Colorado.
okay, I'm in Australia.
Yeah, I'm in
Australia,
Colorado.
so-
I can't buy it. Yeah, United States, you can't buy it in Colorado, but it's down 10%, so it's on sale.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, cool guys. You guys take care, and we'll see you guys later. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.